Most people think consistency is a motivation problem. They believe that if they felt more motivated, showing up would be easier. Posting would feel lighter. Sticking with things would feel natural. And honestly, that belief makes sense. At the beginning of something new, motivation is usually high. Energy is there. Everything feels possible. But motivation is a feeling, and feelings change. When motivation fades, people do not assume the system is the problem. They assume they are the problem. So they stop. Then later, they start again. Then they stop again. Motivation depends on things you cannot fully control: your energy, your mood, your sleep, your stress levels. Some days you feel focused and clear. Other days you do not. That difference is normal. It happens to everyone. When energy is low, people think something is wrong with them, but nothing is broken. This is how humans actually work. Motivation is useful at the beginning. It can help you start, but it is not stable enough to carry consistency long term. Most people do not stop because they do not care. They care a lot. That is not the issue. What actually causes people to stop is how heavy the process feels. Not once, but every day. Too many decisions, too much setup, too much pressure. Before the work even starts, energy is already being spent. On high energy days, people push through. On normal days, it feels exhausting. On low energy days, it stops completely. That is not a motivation problem. It is a friction problem. When people hear the word system, they often imagine something rigid, strict routines, rules, control. But a system is not about control. A system is support. A good system reduces the number of decisions you have to make. It removes friction from the process. That is what makes progress possible on low energy days. Not pressure, not discipline, support. Systems do not replace effort. They protect it. This is where many beginners get systems wrong. They hear the word system and assume it means having everything figured out. They think they need the right tools, the right workflow, the right plan, so they keep preparing instead of starting. They wait until things feel clear, until they feel confident, until they feel ready. But that moment rarely comes. Systems are not built before action. They are built by noticing what makes action harder than it needs to be. You start, you feel friction, you adjust. That is how real systems are created. The shift that changes everything is simple. You stop asking how to stay motivated, and you start asking how to reduce friction. You start by doing something small, not because it is impressive, but because it is repeatable. Then you pay attention. What felt heavy? What slowed you down? What made you hesitate? You remove one unnecessary step, one decision, one piece of friction. Over time, the process feels lighter, not because you are trying harder, but because the system is doing more of the work. A lot of people believe they need more motivation, more willpower, more discipline, more pressure. But motivation is not the real issue, and perfection is not the solution. What actually helps is removing friction, making it easier to begin, easier to continue, easier to return. Support matters more than intensity, because intensity fades, support stays. Consistency is not about pushing harder. It is about building something that holds you up on normal days and low energy days. That is how progress becomes sustainable.